Okay, I want to mention, show you how to take out the battery on the 99 Sebring Convertible, which is actually in the front fender over here. I know you do not really have to take off the wheel, but you can actually turn the wheel outward a lot this way and get at it, but it is easier if you take off the wheel. Jack the car up, put a jack stand on it. There's this plastic thing, and you got one screw here. See it right next to it, right there. You got one screw up here, one screw over here, one screw over here. Okay, 3 along the top, 1 right here, and 3 go into the side of the fender. I got an apron on, what do you call it, a bra on the front of this. So you got 1 here. Excuse me, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And the third one's right under that clip. So you got 3 on the side this way. Okay, 3 along the top, 1 here. Now, I would disconnect the battery ground under the hood before you pull the battery out, because you just don't want things sparking. And that's your battery ground right there. So you got a battery cable on it. One thing I like to do is, when you're raising this hood, so I got that painted white. At night, it's hard to find where to put that prop hole. I swear, it's something dumb, but I do it, it's easier. Now the nut on the top there for the ground strap is 15 millimeter. You don't really need to take that off, but I would, because if you're working down here, you might, you know, I don't know. It's not hard to do. Just do it as an extra safety step. That's a Group 75 battery. These are 8 millimeter bolts. It's also the same, it's a common battery, so very easy to find these. And get this out of here. Okay, now you got this bracket. You don't have to take the whole bracket out. Just get this bottom screw, maybe get the top screw loosened up a little bit. And 13 millimeter, right? When you put the battery in, there's 13 millimeter bolt right there. All right. When you take the battery out and you put it back in, don't put the strap with it, because the strap's going to get away that top piece. But I'm basically taking the battery out so I can fill it up with some of this magic juice over here called, put 10 milliliters in each one of the battery holes, battery additive. And I want to see how old this battery is. It starts the car up really great, but I think it's pretty old. All right, this battery isn't that old. It's a year and a half. So it's one of the top of line batteries. So it's I'm going to put a little bit of that juice in there though. These things that rejuvenate it, keep the cells from desulfating. I always keep it on a charger like this. That's a desulfated charger, battery minder. These can easily last 5 years, be really solid. Just like in this part here, you know, you don't need to loosen the bolt on the top. You can just kind of bend it up out of the way. You're not going to bend it that far, and if you're not changing the battery every freaking day, we're going to screw up this bracket. So even if you did break the bracket, you can always fix it, but you don't need to loosen the one on the top, just the one on the bottom. And some people, you know, they'll say like, how come they did something so stupid like this? Well, what do you want? I mean, if the car, I mean, I do agree that some of the things on the engineer of this car, it is difficult to work on, but doing a battery like this, where are you going to put the battery? There's no room under this hood, you know? Where are you going to put it? Where are you going to put it? You know, so you want a car with a lot of room on the inside, a lot of trunk room, and you want it to be economical, you want enough power and all this kind of stuff, so you got to make compromises. It's not the worst thing in the world. And you can always jump it from up here though too. That's the positive jumper, and that's your ground, so you can always jump it from the top. But yeah, it is what it is, but you got to make compromises. You know, there's advantages and disadvantages. You know, if you want to make the car more and more compact, you want more room for things, well, that's what you got to do. So I don't really fault Chrysler for this. Some of the other stuff I do fault them for, because like doing that timing belt, if they gave you another inch of room, it would have been a heck of a lot better. But several things on this car, but whatever. This isn't one of the problems I consider a problem.